All right, what is up, what is up, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is Phil Nagy on Sports. It's week 7 of our 2023 sim. This is the Monday night primetime matchup. Jared Goff and his 3-3 Detroit Lions taking on Jordan Love and his 3-3 Green Bay Packers here at the hallowed grounds of Lambeau Field. Lions, their white away tops and silver trousers, going up against the Packers, their green home tops and yellow trousers. There is Jordan Love. Excited to bring this one to you. Really appreciate everybody being on with us. Thank you to all of our subscribers, old and new and in between. You guys truly are the best and keep us going. So excited to see how this one looks. Again, both teams 3-3 in this NFC North that is truly wide open right now. I think the Vikings are 2-4. The Bears, we just took care of them in week 7, so I think they fall to 2-4 potentially, or maybe 3-4. Or 2-5, I don't know. But it's wide open. Anybody's for the taking. Can Jordan Love assert himself as the next solid, Hall of Fame level Packer quarterback after they went from Favre to Rodgers, or will time tell? So, Kit's actually going to call this one for you. I've got a couple other things I need to take care of at the moment, but there you go. The Bears are 3-3. They must have already had their bye. So, appreciate everybody being on, and enjoy the sim. I'll be back at the end to wrap up the statistics. So, take it away, Kit.
I appreciate that, Phil. Yeah, excited for this one. Big showdown in the NFC North, and of course, a very tight running there in the NFC North. So, excited to see how this one pans out. Welcome in, Mason. How's it going with you, sir? This one is going to be kicked off into the end zone for a touchback to open out the game, which is going to bring Goff out to the 25. There's a look at his numbers: 10-4 touchdowns to interceptions on his season so far. Good. Glad to hear that, Mason. And we'll get a look at Jared Goff and this frisky Lions offense here now. Starting at that 25 out of the gun. And throwing out the gate, he's got it complete. And Jameson Williams, the first receiver on the day, good for 8. In his second year, of course. Now bringing a man in motion. Goff faking the handoff. And now going to air it deep. He's got a man down there and nearly intercepted. Trying for his tight end. But lucky that the defender didn't make a grab there, as Laporta was not in a good position to make a grab. Goff now to the outside. That one nearly picked off as well. Right the intended receiver this time. And so the Lions, after the first completion to Williams, really don't go anywhere. And a 3-and-out will have to punt. Punt is recovered at the 21 and then taken out to the 29-yard line. And that's where Jordan Love and these Packers are going to start for their first drive of the ball game. There's a look at Jordan Love's numbers: 1,750 yards, 13 touchdowns to 7 picks on his season so far. You know, he's not elite. I will agree with you there. I don't know that he's that bad. He's certainly a quarterback that can get you some wins. And we've seen some of that. He's got the ability to be decent, but he's not. I don't think he's a playoff caliber winning quarterback. So I'm not sure what the long-term plan is there for the Lions, but obviously they've stuck with Goff this far. Yes, I do like how aggressive AB is and stuff like that. Is trying to set up a screen is Love. And that is going to lead to a back-to-back set of 3-and-outs, as the Packers are going to have to punt as well. This one is a very nice punt. Gets down at the 4-yard line. And so Jared Goff is going to have to come out and have a lot of work to do. 96 yards to pay dirt from here. In an I formation, a little handoff to the up back. And Kabinda, the running back on that. or the ball carrier on that, picks up 2. Hey, Kishin, welcome in. Little handoff up the middle. Doesn't find a lot of room there. That's Montgomery, former Bear. 3rd and 4 coming. You know, we'll see. I'm not so convinced that's going to happen. I mean, it might still. I mean, it may just be D-Hop just kind of deciding where he wants to go. As this one is complete to Williams for the first down of the ball game, and a nice strike over the middle. 1st and 10. But we'll see. I mean, there's a lot of things that they could do with that nearly 16 mil they've got in space now. I think they're number 10 in the NFL of cap space currently. 2nd and 7 after a short carry. And now over the middle is completed to Laporta. Or excuse me, that's Dubes. Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong roster. Dubes plays for the Packers, but there we go. There's a nice completion out to the outside. That one a strike from Jared Goff. Nice throw from him. I gotta check the numbers here to make sure I got the right. I'm not calling out the wrong name here. But yeah, it was Sam Laporta. I had that right. 87 is Sam Laporta. That's his 2nd reception there in a row. And he's looking pretty good so far. 34 yards for him. Hey, Sean, welcome in. And glad to have you here. That one completed out to the outside. And Amon-Ra St. Brown, the receiver, he makes a nice move upfield and is able to get a few extra yards after the catch. And now Jared Goff and these Lions in some business here now down near the red zone. And kind of shuffling backwards, now unloading downfield to the end zone, and just not able to come up with that catch. That was Josh Reynolds going up for the ball, but he could not hold on, and incomplete. 2nd and 10. Now over the middle, wide open is Williams. Oh, and a fumble, and the Packers have the ball. The dreaded after the catch football move takes the pop from the defender, and the ball jarred loose. And that ends up in a very costly fumble here. It's the 2nd guy to get there. Really jarred it loose, and Jameson Williams with an ugly fumble to give up a great-looking drive. Yeah, I think there's certainly that aspect of it, Mason. But you know, the voluntary stuff is over now. They're past OTAs. We're into, you know, there's only training camp and preseason remaining. So if he is going to make a move or if he is going to pick a team, it's possible he wants out of training camp also. So we'll see. Hey, James, welcome in. That's awesome, Kishin. That's exciting that you got to meet DTR at the local Target. That's pretty cool. Glad to hear he is cool in person. And how could you not like Cleveland? Cleveland is just a cool town. I like it. It's hard not to like. It's got good food. It's got good places to go and do. It's a happening place. 4th and 7 here, as the Packers are going to have to punt after that big turnover. They get nothing on the offensive production out of it. And so the Lions are going to have great field position as a consolation prize for their drive that was looking so good, shut down by that Williams fumble. Yeah, it's possible. You might be right, Mason. Time will tell. And it could happen. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. That one, I thought he had it complete, but it was knocked loose. That was Josh Reynolds again with his 2nd missed opportunity now of the ball game. I'm not sure if either of them were technically counted as drops, but I almost feel like probably should have caught that and the one earlier in the end zone. As now past midfield are these Lions, 3rd and 5 coming. Goff to pass over the middle. Not quite to the line to gain. Got to run those stick routes. I really don't like that stuff. That was David Montgomery leaking out of the backfield, takes the little outlet pass, but does not get past the line of game. But the Lions are going to punt. It's a fake punt. Spoke too soon. I was about to say it was a Madden miracle here, as they were going to punt from the inordinately long field goal range, but instead they end up with a fake punt that goes nowhere, and the same result is like 5 to 7 yards different. Wow. Hey, welcome in, Phil. That was ridiculous, because only Madden would choose to fake there because they didn't want to kick the long field goal and miss it, but instead they end up with a terrible blown fake punt. So the Madden miracle, not a thing, unfortunately. As Love over the middle, he's got a man, and that is going to be complete. Jones for a nice pickup and a first down. One of the few for the Packers so far in the game. And Aaron Jones on a sweet little angle route with nobody around and kind of set loose in a little bit of space there, room to rumble. Yeah, happy to. Took me a little bit longer to get to these than I anticipated, but I got a little bit busy in there. Now, single back is Jones. Little jet sweep action goes all of nowhere. That was Dubes. And no gain on that play. Trips to his right for Jordan Love. Now faking the handoff to Jones. Now kind of working in the pocket, not liking what he's seen. Finally, look deep, and he's got a man down there, complete. So much time to get that downfield, and he finally found a man open and he liked and was able to get it complete. I don't have a number 11 on the roster, so I'm not sure who that is, because there isn't one on this roster, and I didn't happen to see who it said that was. Yeah, exactly. Welcome in, Mitchell. Glad you liked my Madden Miracle reference. I wouldn't say millions, but yeah, just a vacation. I don't think this is a wedding. As a quick rush is going to get to Love there, and likely a field goal attempt. A little chip shot coming up. Yes, I do. I've got this game. We got the AFC Spotlight Game of the Week coming up. I'm planning that for kind of the mid to late morning tomorrow, maybe midday. Just kind of depends on when I can get that one in, and then we'll see about the Browns game after that. As the field goal is up and good, so first points of the game go to the Packers with a 3-0 lead and a minute 49 left in the first quarter. Kickoff is recovered in the end zone for a touchback, so Jared Goff is going to start at the 25. A single back for him. Now throws to the outside. He's got Laporta out there, and Laporta is going to be pushed out of bounds with a pickup of 5. Out of the gun. Goff over the middle, little dump off underneath. That is going to find Amon-Ra St. Brown on that little quick slant over the middle to work that underneath. So a 1st and 10 from the 40. Jared Goff out of the gun, trips to his left. He hands it off, and Montgomery not finding much of anything there. No room for him, and he's going to gain 0. 2nd and 10. Now thrown out to the right side to his outlet. That's Montgomery again, but only a pickup of 5 on that effort. And that's going to take us to the end of the first quarter, a 3-0 ball game. The Packers with the field goal advantage, and the Lions flirting with the midfield stripe here. 3rd and 5. Throw in just short of the sticks. It would have been short either way, but he was out of bounds. So 4th down either way, but in this case out of bounds, and a 4th and 5 will bring out the punting unit, and they're going to put that one out the back of the end zone, which will take Jordan Love to his 20 on the touchback. Jordan Love in the gun. Jones on the left hip. Now over the middle. And he's got it complete. And I didn't catch a name on that. It was number 88, but I don't have an 88 on this roster either. The handoff goes to Aaron Jones. Jones fighting for some yards. I believe he got that first down. We'll see what the spot says. Coach seems to like it though. And they do. First down achieved. Hutchinson in on the tackle in his 2nd year. Very productive player for these Lions. Jordan Love. Oh, that one knocked away. Jordan Love now 3 of 6. As Musgrave was 88 apparently. And that one knocked out of his hands. Now Jordan Love going deep, but it was hit as he threw, and a wobbly pass nearly intercepted. Very fortunate for Jordan Love that that was not picked, as that was an ugly throw after that pressure and contact aided sack, or nearly a sack, because Dubes, the outlet receiver, is not going to have nearly enough there to get a first down. And 4th and 6 coming. That was Dubes' first reception. Of course, he had that end around that went nowhere, so he's been very quiet so far in this ball game. I don't believe we've called Watson's name either. So the Packers' weapons to this point kind of struggling to get going, and they're going to have to punt. So some good field position here for the Lions as they're going to start on, actually no, I take it back, 23-yard line. I thought I saw 43 there. It was the 23-yard line. So not that great a field position, kind of standard here, as they'll end up getting pushed back on that one. A little nice TFL shooting the gap there and taking out Montgomery before he could even get to the line of scrimmage. Hey, welcome in, Wendell. You know, they've got some young talent, I think, that could develop into something. James, we'll see. Watson, certainly could be very good. He's not there yet, I don't think. Dubes could be very good, but again, not there yet. Maybe not the best receiving core out there right now, but they've got some potential as airing it deep. And that one probably should have been picked as well. You saw Amon-Ra St. Brown down there with his hands up calling for the flag, but not getting the call. And so the Lions are going to have to punt. You know, that would be... I bet you would make an awful lot of money on that bet line there, Wendell, if the Lions and the Browns made it to the Super Bowl. And that was the Super Bowl matchup. It would be cool to see that. That seems like some pretty long odds for that to be the matchup in the NFL, especially with some of the powerhouses in the NFC, but as comparison to the Lions right now. I mean, they're probably one of the better teams in their own division right now. This one is complete to Dubes out to the outside. But they've got to get through the 49ers. They've got to get through the Eagles. I mean, there are some pretty good teams in the NFC that are probably significantly better than the Lions are right now. So they'd have a tough time getting there. And then, of course, we all know that the AFC is a complete murderer's row. So the Browns have to get through all that too, and that's going to be. There's a lot of work to do to get to that point, I guess was what I'd say. Jordan Love is complete out to the outside, that one for 6. But that would be cool to see an all Great Lakes Super Bowl. I would be down for that. And now in the I formation on 3rd and 1. Heavy set to his left, bringing one of those tight ends in motion. Jordan Love hands it off to Jones with space and then breaking through a tackler. And some extra yards to boot. First down achieved. But, you know, if that were to happen and if you were to lay a bet down on something like that happening, then I would hazard a guess that you would stand to make quite a pretty penny off of such a bet. I bet the odds on that are impressive. Out of the gun, Jordan Love. Scrambling in the pocket, not liking what he's seeing. He's going to throw this one's out of the bounds. Just throws it away. 6 and 11 now is Jordan Love. Throwing this one underneath. There's Watson. Our first look at him here in this ball game. Only a pickup of 7, but at least getting involved finally. Now complete downfield. That's the nebulous number 11, which does not show up on our roster here. Maybe they'll show the name this time. I still didn't catch it on the back of the jersey there. Probably one of these unnumbered names here. Like Musgrave is one of the ones. So Bonds, perhaps, is the other wide receiver I'm seeing in the unnumbereds. As Rodriguez gets in there, linebacker getting in, and we saw him on Hard Knocks. He was an interesting character. Nice little A-gap blitz, uncontested to Jordan Love, and he gets in there very quickly. Only 2.5 seconds before contact, 3 seconds to the full sack. Yeah, could be, James. It would be interesting to see, that's for sure. As Aaron Jones gets the sack yardage back, but nothing more. Anzalone in on the tackle, the other linebacker. 3rd and 10 coming. Now going to the end zone. Touchdown, Packers! The nice little strike downfield to Musgrave. And just like that, the first touchdown of the ball game, as Jordan Love just kind of sat there recognizing his tight end flashing open on a little flag route. And Musgrave gets an absolute dime thrown to him. And a beautiful touchdown downfield for the Packers to make this soon to be a 10-0 lead. I'm assuming you mean DeAndre Hopkins going to the Patriots? Is that what you're calling for there, Wendell? Could be. I mean, that is, you know, something that the Patriots need is wide receiver help. So, you know, it just, they don't tend to like to pay guys, and that's what it would take for Hopkins is getting paid. But I mean, you never know. I mean, they paid those tight ends in recent memory, so it's not that they don't pay guys ever. They just, you know, we'll see. They don't tend to put a lot of money into the wide receiver position, at least into the big name guys. We haven't seen that in New England in quite some time. There's a broken tackle out here for Robinson. Nice little run, or excuse me, Montgomery, wrong last name. Montgomery with a beautiful broken tackle there to get a first down. Nice effort, his best run of the day. You see him just kind of in that pile, breaking loose of 3 would-be tacklers. Nice effort run. Well, Goff out to the outside. He's got it complete. That one is Amon-Ra St. Brown and a pickup of 9. You know, that's probably a fair proposition there, James, saying that you've got the best Bama quarterback right now. You know, some people would probably argue for Tua. I'm not one of those people. You know, not only the injury, but when he's accurate, he's incredibly accurate, but he doesn't have the arm strength all the time, and And when he's off, especially underthrowing, he's way off, and it's made up for by the fact that guys like Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle can come way back to the ball because they're so shifty and so quick and make him look better than he probably is. And then, obviously you're talking about Young being the best, and then there's the experiment going on in New England was the other one you're referencing. And of those guys, I'd be okay with calling Young the best of the group, but, like I said, lots would argue that maybe that's Tua right now. Especially certainly for the fact that he's more developed at the NFL level. So we'll see how that turns out. The Lions are going to have to kick a long field goal here. The kick is up, but it is wide right and probably short also. So the Packers, with a 10-point lead, are going to get some nice field position here after a not great attempt at a field goal. Yeah, no, I like I said, I don't disagree with that, James. I know some people would probably argue that point. The Young v. Tua argument, they would probably land on the Tua side of that, but time will tell in terms of which one really is better at the NFL level. That one we need some real time to have a fair judgment of which one actually is better at this level. It would be really cool, though, Wendell, no doubt. No doubt. 2nd and 6, throw to the outside. That is complete. Jordan Love now 10 of 15, 115 yards in the touchdown. Of course, the touchdown went to his tight end Musgrave. This one goes to Dubes on the outside. And then that last pass incomplete brings up a 4th and 1. And interestingly, the Packers are going to punt this time. Now we get to have the Madden Miracle where the ugly long kick is avoided with what should have always been happening, a punt. Now, it was not a particularly great punt. It went out of bounds at the 19. So 1 yard better than a touchback, but, I would love to take those in our Browns sims rather than the 66-yard field goal attempts. 2nd and 9 after a 1 yard pickup from Montgomery. Wendell, I always have a cold one out for when I'm broadcasting these, or at least if I have beer on hand, I will. But yes, I'm with you there. Very much always good idea. Beer and football just seem to go together. That's at least I've always thought so. As Amon-Ra St. Brown going to catch one there over the middle, and Goff complete to him. He's going to pick up a first down. Amon-Ra now with 5 receptions on the day. Heavily spiked lemonade. All right. That's fair. Sounds good in its own right. That'll bring us to the 2-minute warning in the 10-0 ball game. And the Lions now at the 32-yard line trying to get some kind of points before going into half. That one nearly intercepted. Very fortunate that wasn't picked, as the defender had much better positioning on that. But just a 2nd and 10 after an incompletion. Little stunt and setting up a screen pass. They're got it complete to Montgomery, but not much room to work with there. Only 2 yards on the screen. 3rd and 8. Now Goff, lots of time, and finally the pressure's going to get home. Too much time, and a quick timeout taken by the Packers after the big sack, as they're going to get a crack at this before going into half. The punt is away. It is caught at the 18-yard line, taken out to the 23. So a long field to work with here for Jordan Love with only 1:22 and 2 timeouts. So he's got his work cut out for him here if he wants to get some points on before heading to their respective locker room. Jordan Love. And throws out to the outside. I'm not sure that one was completed. It's Reed Reed is the, Jaden Reed is the number 11. That was the one I had been missing. So there we go, out of Michigan State. He is a rookie. One of the unnumbered on our roster here, or at least the one I'm looking at. He's number 11 in our sim, so remember that Reed is number 11. Jordan Love over the middle to Reed. Back-to-back catches for the rookie. And that one is going to be good for 8 yards. Timeout taken. 1:01 left in the half. Yeah, I could understand missing Beer after that. I mean, obviously, sensible choice. Don't want to mess with something like that, but would understand missing it to be sure. 3rd and 2. Flirting with midfield here. They need some yards. 52 seconds now. Downfield, he's got Musgrave down there in some space, and he should have gone out of bounds, but instead he works back into the field, and the clock continues to run. They're going to have to hurry up to the field, or up to the line of scrimmage. They don't have a lot of time to work with, but now in good field position. They might elect just to kick a field goal here off of 1st down. We'll see what they do, but they're not going to have a lot of clock either way. So they do hurry up to the line. 1 timeout left, 22 ticks. Jordan Love from his 25. Now, nearly picked off. That one was so dangerous, and that was for sure 6 points the other way. Wow. Jordan Love, now with the clock does stop. He goes down to the end zone. Knocked away. Incomplete. That intended for Watson in the end zone, but nothing doing in the 3rd and 10. 10 seconds left. Still 1 timeout. Jordan Love with all kinds of time going to the end zone again. Nearly picked off a 2nd time. And a 4th and 10. 2 ticks left. And you have to assume they'll take the field goal here, which they will. And so the kick is up and good. So a 13-zip lead into half is where we'll leave it. As we'll see a look at the halftime stats there. Advantage to the Packers for the most part there. But and there's a look so far at the week, the trends around the league. Of course, the Browns with the nice win over the Bears that we saw. And then we had 2 other games that were ran as user games that are showing up on the screen only because Phil was working through a few things to try to tweak some sliders and trying to see how things were affected with the sliders. So some of those games were pre-simmed for us. But that'll bring us here now to the second half of the ball game. If you're just joining us, thanks for being on. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe to the channel, we'd very much appreciate that. We have built a lot of support and a fan base that we have been proud of and really enjoyed having everyone around to join us for these sims. The only place that you can find live play-by-play and color commentary on a Madden simulation with all the correct rosters, free agencies, draft, all the correct names. Maybe not all the numbers, but we're working on that piece steadily as well. But very much appreciate y'all being on, and if you get a chance to hit the like button, we'd also appreciate that, as it seems to get more of our videos out there to a wider audience. As Jordan Love's going to step up and take off out of the pocket there. Pickup of 6 on his first carry of the ball game, escaping the pocket right up the middle. And just like Mitchell says, go Browns. Oh, fumble! I don't know if he was down or not, but that one is out. The Lions have it, and he's going to scoop and score. But the question is going to be, was it out, or does Campbell's touchdown count? We'll see. Where's his knee? Oh, he's down. Yeah, this is going to be overturned. This is not a touchdown for the Lions. They desperately needed that in this 13-0 ball game to start the half. That would have been a huge, huge swing, but not to be, as I'm sure this will be reviewed and overturned, as he was side, shoulder, hip, knee, all down before the ball actually came out.
The previous play is under review.
We'll take a look again, but I'm pretty sure this is, knee, ball. Yeah, that was big gap between. There's the knee is down, the ball is coming out there. That's very clearly not a fumble. So the Packers will retain possession after this inevitably will be overturned. And unfortunately for the Lions, that could have been the spark they needed to climb back into this one, but not to be here. Jordan Love hands it off to Jones, fighting for yards up the middle. Nice effort run from him, and he's going to have the first down. So coming out in an I formation are the Packers here. Jordan Love fakes the handoff to Jones, now throwing out to his left. And it is complete for a pickup of 5. That one goes to Dillon. Now complete to Watson out on the other side. And enough for a first down. So a little bit of dinking and dunking here for the Packers, but they're being productive enough to keep the sticks moving. That only Watson's second reception of the ballgame, though. Now Jones fighting for some yards, only manages 1. Quickly over the middle, complete to Reed. And Reed with his 5th reception of the ballgame. That one picks up 7, as Jones dives forward for the first down. And a 1st and 10 achieved. .47 and counting in the third quarter. Packers with a nice drive here out into Lions territory. This one is complete out on the boundary. And Watson, the receiver, his 3rd reception of the ballgame. He's only got 20 yards so far, 2nd and 6, as he's been used primarily underneath. This one is complete to Dubes. He does pick up a first down, just over the line to gain his 5th reception of the ball game. As the Packers have been very content working the underneath in the passing game and then turning to Jones, who now has almost 60 yards on his 19 carries. So not a lot of fireworks for either team. And both teams relatively content with the efficient underneath work to keep the chains moving. Jordan Love out of the gun. Now going towards the end zone at least. And he's got it complete to Watson there. All right. And Watson picks up 8. I thought for a minute was going to the end zone, but he was actually throwing short of it. As Watson was coming out of the end zone back to the pass, ensuring he was going to be the first one with hands on the ball, which is always a good idea. But it did take him out of the end zone, so they're a little bit short of it now. Handoff to Jones, lots of room, touchdown, Packers! And that little tackle run out to the left side, takes advantage of a nice gap on the perimeter, and just sneaks his way out to the end zone, relatively unmolested. Nobody there to make a play. And Aaron Jones scores, so the Packers are going to widen their lead after a nicely sustained drive, really just staying ahead of the sticks, very consistently there. The Packers will go for 2. Goal line set for the 2-point conversion, and it is Cheeve Musgrave, the 2-point conversionee. And now a 21-zip ball game. And with the way the Lions have played on offense, you start to wonder if James is not correct, that this might be all she wrote. Lions have got to get a lot going right for them in a hurry if they want to get back into this ball game. That turnover that got overturned, that would have been a scoop and score, that would have been huge. But wasn't to be. And instead, the Packers add to their lead and make it a full 3-score ball game. Jared Goff, pressure coming, and he did not have to go to his outlet to Montgomery out on the outside on the little swing pass. 4-yard pickup for him. 2nd and 6. And now a handoff to Montgomery, fighting for the yards, and he's going to have a first down. So the Lions trying to respond with a little bit of pace here. And a little quick slant, so some positive yardage for the Lions here. This one to Amon-Ra St. Brown, pickup of 9. So like you'd like to see, a little bit of productivity and some hurry up is working now, trying to catch the Packers a little bit flat-footed after their nice drives that they had put together. The Lions need this. They need to be productive here, and they really need this one to end in the end zone. There's a little bit of movement up front is about the last thing you want to have happen for the Lions. The procedural penalty is really just a mental mistake. You can't have those, especially for drives that you're depending on efficiency, not the kind of the fireworks to get done as they go underneath again to Montgomery. It does pick up all of the yardage from the penalty up, plus 6 more. So a nice effort there on the angle route from Montgomery, puts them back ahead of the sticks. And now throwing it away is Goff, but fortunately for that last play, they're in decent position at 3rd and 4. Past midfield now. Tight bunch to the left. Jared Goff out to his left and misses just wide of the mark. Oh no. And now the Lions are going to try the 59-yard field goal. Boo Madden. As they're going to miss the long field goal, as we're so accustomed to. And the rich get richer, it would seem. As the Packers are likely going to convert this momentum right into another quick 6. Yuck. I really hate those. Just hate them. Can't wait to have that just be not part of the game anymore, ever again. I would be fine if I never saw a 60-yard plus field goal ever again in Madden. That would be just fine. Even if it's warranted. Even if it's like to win a ball game. If they elected to go for the end zone instead, I'd be okay with this, with that at this point. Even if they only needed 1 point and they're at this like a 62-yarder, there's like 3 seconds, I'd rather see them throw the Hail Mary to the end zone in this game than try to kick a long field goal. Jordan Love. Lots of time. Lots and lots of time. Finally gets rid of it. He didn't like what he saw downfield. 2nd and 10. With that great field position set up by the Madden field goal. Because only Madden. That was a nice little pitch and catch there. Out there, that was Melton on the reception out of Rutgers, former Seahawk. I don't know. James asking why Madden thinks going for it on 4th and short is equivalent to double murder. I can't discredit the argument because it does seem that way, James. It is unreal the amount that they'll just give up on a drive that probably should be going for those 4th and shorts. Now, they sometimes will go for it, but a lot less aggressive than the NFL really is right now, so it's not as realistic as we'd like it to be. Now Watson over the middle, and Watson has some space to work with and is going to get them down to the 1. Nice effort from him on the yards after the catch as he caught it at the 9.5 and got himself all the way down to the 1 through about 4 tacklers to do it too. 1st and goal now from the 1. Setting up in the gun is Jordan Love. Tight bunch to his left. Jones in the backfield. Now searching, pressure coming. He's going to throw this one away. So a 2nd and goal. Now setting up in a heavy set to the right. Single back is Jones. Dubes out to his left. Now going to the right side and just missed. Had a guy, but was unable to get it complete in that case for Jordan Love. Now, another tight end, or another heavy set here. We're going to hand it right up the middle, and this one is sniffed out very quickly. Lions were absolutely prepared for that handoff right up the gut. And they penetrated very quickly into the backfield and shut it down early. And so, the Packers are going to settle for a field goal here, which was really, the only outcome for the Lions that gives them any kind of hope to stick around in this game, although they've got their work absolutely cut out for them now in this 24-0 ball game. But the missed long field goal at least only results in 3 points the other way, so it is the least damaging version of that, because outside of a sack or an immediate 3 and out, those long field goals invariably end up in points of some sort, but most often they seem to end up in touchdowns, and the Lions defense manages to minimize that impact and hold them to a field goal instead. Montgomery with the carry. He breaks the tackle. He's out past the 30 to the 31, 4-yard pickup. Now under center, Jared Goff with the snap. Back to pass. Throws out to his right side on swim route is Montgomery. And he's going to pick up 3 more. Jared Goff quickly out of his hands. He's got it out to the outside, complete for a 1st down. And that was Josh Reynolds on the reception. Jared Goff now downfield, wide open. Amon-Ra St. Brown makes a man miss and past the 30 to the to the 27-yard line. Amon-Ra St. Brown with a nice little move down there, but he was wide open on that route, creating huge separation. Again, Amon-Ra St. Brown, this time underneath, gets past the 20 to the 19, and that's going to take us to the quarter break and into the 4th quarter of this all-Packers performance. 24-0 so far in this one, but the Lions finally showing some signs of life here. Will it be too little too late? They've got to get over 24 points in a quarter, and they've scored 0 so far in this ball game. This one a carry from Montgomery. He goes absolutely nowhere on his rough night. Now 11 for 41 total yards. Not a good day for one Montgomery. Jared Goff out to the left side. Oh, did he catch that? He did. Wow. That was impressive. Josh Reynolds with I think he dropped it initially, but then managed to scoop it up as it was going to the turf. Somehow making a nice catch, and Montgomery is free towards the end zone, tackled at the half-yard line here. I thought he was going to score, but so quickly hitting was that one I nearly missed it. Right up to the second level and near to the end zone. Montgomery with another carry and a touchdown. So the Lions are on the board at last. A nice touchdown up the middle to reward Montgomery for the run just prior to it. And the Lions finally in business. But a lot of work yet to do, and not a lot of time to do it in. But that a critical step in the right direction for the Lions. Now they're going to have to stand tall on defense. They're going to have to find some turnovers or some 3-and-outs or something along those lines. The Lions are going to go for 2 here. They've got it in, not complete. I thought he had it for a moment, but it was knocked away. Campbell in on the breakup. So 24-6 the scoreline after the failed 2-point conversion. But now it's down the defense for the Lions. They've got to find a way to stand tall. Turnover would be huge. 3-and-outs are paramount. They can't allow a lot of first downs. There's only 13 minutes and 20 seconds left. And the Packers are going to be looking to run as much of that clock off as they possibly can here with this large lead. Now a handoff goes to Jones. As expected, 4-yard pickup. And they are indeed in chew clock mode as they should be. Snapping it with 4 ticks left. Jones now to the outside. Not going to find a lot there. He's going to be tackled quickly. A 3rd and 7, but the clock continuing to run. Closing in on 12 minutes. Love now to pass. Getting chased and a big sack to 3-and-out converted for this defense as he is going to be sacked way back. And the Packers will have to punt. So the Lions defense stands tall like they needed to, and the offense not only has to respond with another good drive, but they probably need some big chunk plays to do it with, as they're going to have to conserve clock and score quickly with the remaining time in this ball game and the deficit being what it is. So the punt is away. Lions going to get some really nice field position out of this one as they're out past the 40, near to the 45, call it the 43-yard line. That's where Jared Goff is going to start on his own 43. But they really need some chunk yards, preferably at least half of this in one shot if they can manage it. Jared Goff from under center, looking to pass. He's got it over the middle, and underneath is not what you want to be doing here. Amon-Ra St. Brown is a great weapon, but underneath doesn't do you any good. 4 yards, not what you want. You only have just under 11 minutes left to play, and you got a big deficit to overcome. This one does go downfield, but out of bounds, too far. Brings up a 3rd and 6. That will at least stop the clock at 10:49. But the Lions need results. Now throwing it out of bounds again. It's Jared Goff. They're going to go for it on 4th and 6, so a pivotal down here to this ball game. It's probably over if they don't convert. With all kinds of time, is Jared Goff finally going to air it deep towards the end zone. Man, wide open touchdown! What a play! Finding a wide open Jameson Williams in the end zone is Jared Goff. And a huge strike, taking it all in one. If you cancel out the first 3 plays that they went underneath with, that one was exactly what they should have been looking for all along. Had great protection all day to throw it. I thought he was throwing a Hail Mary at first, but he actually was hitting a wide open Williams who had just broken loose down the sideline on a busted play and just came wide open, and Goff hit him downfield to make this a somewhat interesting ball game at a 24-13 scoreline. The Lions down just 11 now with 10:34 and some life at last. Yes, wow indeed, James. That was definitely what they needed, but it was exciting in the moment too. So, Jordan Love is going to try to see if he can answer. They may not try to run as much clock this time, as they didn't have a lot of success on the ground and went 3 and out last time. This one goes over the middle. He's got it complete. That's Musgrave on the reception. It's going to pick up 7, and that's going to put them in good position to try to pick up a first down. And each first down here counts, is really worth its weight in gold, as that one nearly hit the helmet of the other receiver. Musgrave able to maintain concentration with a nice catch. Now Jones will carry, stretch to the right. He is tackled very quickly. He is going to pick up a yard, but a critical 3rd and 2 is coming up. 9.5 left to play, and a handoff to Jones. Lots of room to the outside, and he's going to have an easy first down. Makes a man miss, still working up the sideline. Out of bounds near the 50-yard line. And Aaron Jones putting this team on his shoulders here as he is willing his way to a victory on that run. Aaron Jones with another run. Why not? This one does not find as much success, only a yard there. But now past the midfield stripe are the Packers. Into dangerous territory. Jordan Love setting up a screen. All kinds of room and blockers up front. Finally, a screen that worked nicely. I don't know why or how it's been so broken, but Dylan had lots of room to work with, or Dylan, excuse me, lots of room to work with, and was able to get something done on a screen for once. Packers do convert another first down here, and the chances quickly bleeding away for these Lions, as they still have an 11-point deficit, and the Packers are now within striking range. So now turnovers are really critical. They've got to find a turnover if they can here, with ticking under 7 minutes soon to come. This one complete to Dubes over the middle. And now under 7 minutes in the ball game. Packers taking their time, but a nice drive being put together here, and a touchdown probably seals it. As the Lions really need to hold them to a field goal and try to do it as quickly as possible. But a turnover would really be their best bet. Jordan Love, pressure coming, and he's going to escape the pressure out to the outside. Finally elects to hole up and then throws it away to the left side. A 3rd and 9, that does stop the clock. 5:56 to play. I formation under center. Handoff goes to Aaron Jones up the middle with some room, and then he's going to be tackled just short of the line to gain. An interesting choice coming here for the Packers on 4th and 1. A field goal makes it a 14-point ball game, but a touchdown puts the game away. So they do elect to go for it on 4th and down. I like this choice in a goal line set. This is a game-winning choice right here if they can convert. Jones has it easily out to the end zone, just short, but a 1st and goal, and that's probably the ball game, as he was able to get the first down on a critical 4th and 1 and set them up here. 1st and goal from the 1 with a touchdown to win it. Now Jordan Love scrambling out of the pocket, and he's just going to throw this one away. 4:45 remaining in the ball game. Touchdown wins it here. 2nd and goal from the 1. Bringing a man in motion, Jordan Love. Eye set behind him. He hands it off to Jones, off the back of a blocker, and then he's going to be picked up on the tackle off of the scrape. That was Anzalone managing to work his way outside of the block, but really caught up on his blocker was Jones. You see him right here hit the back of his tackle, and that stopped his forward momentum enough. He had a gap inside or outside. He just had to choose one. Bit of indecisiveness there cost him. 3rd and goal. Now throwing to the left side. Touchdown, Packers! That goes to Musgrave, his 2nd of the ball game, and that probably does it. There's only 4:09 left in the ball game, And a 31-13 scoreline pending this PAT. It is good. 31-13 now for the Packers, and that's probably all she wrote. Lions, of course, are going to try to get back into this, but they're going to have a lot of chunks in very little time, as their opportunities are very rapidly slipping away. And that critical 4th and 1. This is weird. Guess we had a slight pause in the action there. That resumed in sim mode. Thanks, Phil. Appreciate that. Now Goff, under pressure, is going to throw a wobbly pass that ends up incomplete. You can't be working underneath here, though. You got to go for the shot plays. You don't have a lot of choices. Again, going underneath his Goff. His pressure was right in his lap again. Now 3rd and 10, and they need at least a first down, but really they need to score lots of yardage, ideally touchdowns. Oh, don't screen. What are we doing? Screen plays are not what you need here. Madden does not do chunk screens. It just doesn't. 4th and 4 coming. Hate that play call. Now Goff finally going to air it deep, but well out of bounds, and that's a turnover on downs. And, yeah, the Packers going to get some great field position here in what is effectively now a blowout, thanks to yet more maddening. Kind of throws a little bit of a damper onto what was otherwise a pretty good game. Like exciting finishing effort there from the Packers on the previous drive. I like seeing the going for it on 4th and 1 as the Packers now setting up for an ugly screen. We've talked about how much we hate those. But the Packers going for it on 4th and 1, kind of a quintessential game management decision that for once Madden got right. We talked about why that was, but that's such a rarity to see in these sims. So you have to kind of celebrate those when they actually have a decision that makes strategic sense in a game like this, and that one certainly did. As the Packers will now kick a field goal here with 1 minute and 15 left to play. The kick is up. The kick is good. So 34-13 the scoreline. And this one is all but over. The Lions going to get one more crack at this, but obviously this not going to be for much more than bragging rights at this point, as they are clearly going to be licking their wounds at the end of this one. Jared Goff out of the gun. 1:09 left to play. Now throwing underneath. Now that the game is pretty well sorted, I don't mind the underneath throws as much, because really even chunk plays won't do it for you now. There's just not enough time to score as many points as you need. So now I'm alright with them just kind of fiddle farting their way down the field at 4 and 5 yards at a pop. Because at the end of the day, it mostly runs the clock. And, this game is pretty much over. So now the Lions are going to air this one deep, but knocked away from the outstretched hands of Amon-Ra St. Brown. That one goes incomplete. 26 ticks left. Changing the formation are the Lions. Now trips out to his right for Jared Goff. And he's going to air this one deep. Not sure why you weren't doing this earlier, but they should have been. And they're going to get a PI call for unknown reasons. Pretty sure the refs are not going to be bringing out the laundry this late in the game that's pretty well decided. But they do. And the Lions going to have the ball at 20 here. 20 ticks left. Now going downfield. He did not catch that. Incomplete. Jared Goff to pass and missing his receiver. Laporta, the intended receiver on that one, a 3rd and 10. 10 ticks left. Now Goff to the end zone and broken up there in the end zone. I think he was trying for Laporta again. And the Lions are going to go for this last gasp throw to the end zone on 4th and 10. They do it like a Hail Mary. It is knocked away, and the ball game is thankfully over. 34-13 the final here in this one, as the Packers put away the Lions in a definitive drive to close out the game midway through the 4th quarter. And then the Lions really not doing their part to make it competitive at the end with some of the play calling and game management decisions. But Phil's going to take us through the stats of this ball game here in just a moment. We'll get to see how everybody did on the stat sheet.
All right, Kit, thanks for the call. Jared Goff today, 29 of 51 for 302. He did have one touchdown. They had a little bit of a flurry there at the end of the 3rd quarter, into the 4th quarter to try to come back, but just could not get those key conversions when they needed it. David Montgomery, 13 carries, 54 yards for their new running back. He also got himself into the end zone one. Just one touch for Jahmyr Gibbs out of the backfield. I'm even not sure for how they plan to use him just yet. I tried to put him in as the slot receiver, but I didn't see him out there much. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 9 for 89. Jamison Williams, 7 for $113 and a touchdown. David Montgomery, 7 for 34 out of the backfield. That's probably where Gibbs needs to be. Sam Laporta, the rookie tight end, 4 for 44. And then Josh Reynolds, 2 for 22, but 3 big drops for Reynolds as well. 14 tackles for the rookie out of Alabama, Brian Branch, playing some safety, playing some nickel, playing a little hybrid everywhere. He's got 14 of them today. 10 for Alex Anzalone. And Levi O in the middle there with 9, including 3 TFLs. Sacks today, 1.5 for Hutchinson, 1.5 for Awuzurike. And then 1 for Rodrigo, as they called him in Hard Knocks. Brian Branch as well. The other half was for Romeo Aquara. No interceptions to the day. Actually, I don't think were there any turnovers? No forced fumbles or fumbles recovered by the Lions, at least. For the Packers, Jordan Love today, 27 of 42 for 287. That's 64% and 2 touchdowns. No interceptions for him. Big day for Aaron Jones, 31 touches, 116 yards, and that touchdown as well. No runs for A.J. Dillon is interesting. 7 for 63 for Dubes. The rookie out of Michigan State, Jaden Reed, with 5 catches out of the slot. 5 for Christian Watson. Also 5, including both touchdowns for the rookie tight end, Luke Musgrave. Bo Melton, the second-year receiver out of Rutgers, with 2. A.J. Dillon. And then Aaron Jones completing just 1 drop, and that was by Christian Watson. In this one, tackles 15 for Devondre Campbell. Quay Walker in the second year out of Georgia with 10 as well. Just 1 sack today by Rashawn Gary from the Wolverines. No interceptions as well. And 1 forced fumble that they recovered. So the only turnover of the day was that forced fumble recovery. All right. Appreciate you being on with us here. And I'll have Kit wrap it up for you. Great to see you guys. Take care.
Yeah, thanks, Phil. Appreciate the stats there as we got to see this game. It certainly wasn't always a pretty game, as James mentioned. There were some definite ugly moments, especially late for the Lions. Would like to see them put a better effort in, but certainly like seeing the Packers with that conclusive drive there in the 4th quarter to put the ball game away, going forward on 4th and 1, a big decision there in that moment. And like seeing that, as that was probably one of the better management decisions that Madden has made to date here on the channel. So we'll get out of here by saying go Packers, and as always, go